Started.
What's bumping, man?
It's not much, man.
It's been a minute.
It's been a good minute, a great minute. A lot of changes, a lot of growth. Since we did that last episode, before my deployments when I did the episode, and asked you a question one day. He came to the house about growth and next level, and you broke it down to me in a way that I understood afterwards, but I never could understand before. And that breakdown was growing internally rather than externally, because you see people and how they live, and externally they live great and perfect and well, but internally it could be broken, or internally they could be living amazingly inside. And today I would like to talk about personal development.
I want to say something to what you said though, because it's funny, because if you pursue external success without the inward first, you can achieve that. You can have a lot of accolades and be broken on the inside. But the reverse is, if you pursue internal first, the external is going to follow. That's what people don't understand. They think it's like, okay, I'm going to do one and not the other. No, actually you do the internal. You can't help but to be successful, because that internal work is what creates the fortitude, what creates the mentality, what creates the awareness of self and how you show up in relationships. You ever be talking to somebody? And it's very clear that no one's listening.
Right.
So everybody except for the person that's talking. That's a good example. They don't have an awareness of self. But here they are trying to make something external happen, a business deal, a relationship, not realizing that their internal is all the way off. They're trying to use a business deal, a relationship, to validate something going on the inside. Nobody wants to do that. Hey, I'll tell you, I'll put it in street language for you.
Okay.
Nobody wants to connect with 30 people.
That's true. Like, they doing too much. Damn, Pam, you be doing too much.
I know,
right,
man. I know, bro. But it's real.
Right.
Thirsty. And it's so funny because it's so easy to notice it in somebody else than it is to notice it in self. Until you develop that self-awareness, and then it's a lot easier to notice it in yourself. But it's always easier to notice it in everybody, because you don't have the filter of an attachment to a story you've been telling yourself your entire life.
So, with my journey, which is really, really good and really, really dope. You invited me to a nice place. Shout out to Leo and Bucky. Thank y'all so much. And
dope.
I feel like growth, well, actually dealing with your past traumas. And I was asking a question, but how do you get to the next level? How? The how's what everybody
You asked that
say.
to them?
No.
Oh, okay. They would have ate you alive.
I did not.
You would have ate you so alive, bro. But in a good way.
Right.
In a good way. In a way that's like, that's not the best question. All right, go ahead.
So, ask you how, then you told me a story, and sometimes the how is right in front of the mirror. Michael Jackson made a song, "The Man in the Mirror," and that song to everybody else may be a song that you can just dance to in the club or dance to when you're out and about, but actually you listen to the lyrics.
Deep.
It's a deep meaning. So I went to the event and internalized myself. Went to a deep meditation place. Thank y'all so much. But I never really meditated before like that my entire life. And it was to a point where my subconscious was kind of free and loose. To a point I feel like I was floating. I ain't gonna lie, I feel like I was floating. I don't know what was going on, but then it's like my adult soul, my adult body, or my adult person, like 20 years or 40 years, met up with my younger self in the same either subconscious or some sort of spiritual realm, and just say, I'm sorry, I apologize. and that kind of, I don't know, it was like whoosh.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was. Help me understand.
Well, finish the story. What happened though? Right after that.
I couldn't stop smiling. So after that, it was an energy
Yep.
that I never felt before my whole entire life, and it was just.
And then what happened? Then you left the event.
I left the event.
What happened?
Then I got a call. I got some major calls from I got a major call from a person who wanted me to do a wedding in Montego Bay. That didn't go as planned, but it still was a call out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And after that, I got invited to the Hip Hop Awards, which did happen yesterday. Thank y'all. Thank you to God.
Right.
A release. I feel like I'm eating now. I'm half vegan, everybody. So I eat. If I eat vegetables by day, I'll eat meat by night. And it's crazy.
I haven't made that leap yet. I ain't gonna lie.
Mm-hmm.
But Bucky tried to give me though.
I think you should.
Yeah,
It's different.
He came from a spiritual angle of like, if you study every great spiritual leader, none of them are eaters of meat. One of my friends and colleagues, Leah Garces, has an organization called Mercy for Animals. They're doing a lot of work, a lot of advocacy work, a lot of tangible change. I mean, they're doing a lot of great work. And I was working with her on her second TEDx talk. I was hosting the event, and she was one of the speakers. And she was telling a story about Henrietta, which is the name she gave a chicken that became one of her daughter's best friends.
Mm.
And she had this picture where her daughter, who, you know, she kind of got the same complexion as my daughter's, she was holding a chicken, and she just had the biggest, brightest smile on.
Mm.
And I had this, like, I envisioned for a quick second, this is the power of storytelling, the power of visuals, which is my line of work. And I looked at that, and every time I tried to eat chicken after that, it didn't feel the same, because I felt like I was just cutting up Henrietta. I was like, dang, Henrietta. I don't even taste the same no more.
But it's hot sauce. I'll give you. All right, go ahead.
But you think about, and here's what's convincing me. And I don't want to say convincing me as if like nobody's trying to pressure me to be vegan. Not even her. I told her that I feel bad, like, because we had met another time after that, and she got vegan and stuff, and then I was like, I'm about to get some chicken. I'm about to get some meat, because I didn't want to fake it for them either, and I wanted to be myself, and that was me. But I told them that I started to feel guilty about it, and the sensitivity of it. And here's kind of the philosophy, and I don't know if this is Bucky's philosophy, but one of my mentors, Steve Monahan, it is that when you eat meat, there's a sense of inhumaneness that you have to eat that. Right? There's a part of yourself that you have to be a little bit callous on the inside, because you are really eating like a living being. It's dead now, but it was a living being.
Right.
Okay. The most drastic example is if I lost a cousin last year. Mm-hmm. If somebody would have took her body and cut it up and just ate it, I would have felt some type of way.
Yeah. But that's an animal. I mean that's a human. So like an animal is.
You have a dog, don't you? Or you've been around dogs?
Yeah.
You ever bonded with a dog?
Yeah.
You think a dog has feelings?
Yeah, they do. But anybody eating dogs.
Okay.
Some countries are.
Deer.
But all right. I bonded with a deer before. It was a deer that's come to my.
I'm getting that close. I'll be scared. You bonded with a deer?
Yeah, I bonded with a deer. So on Johns Island, Charleston, South Carolina, from deers come around about around springtime into summertime ish, and sometimes in the beginning of fall. And it was a little deer that came to my house, and my girl was like, "Don't scare it away, feed it corn." So I fed it. It was like this the whole time. It was a little antsy to come, but once I guess deers have a certain energy too, and as I felt comfortable enough to come to me, I could just fed it the corn. Then it just stayed right there the whole time by the house. Then I tried to scare it away, and it never went away.
Yeah.
So it just went away on its own. It was not bothered at all. But any other deer, I do like that, it's taking off.
Yeah.
So I bonded with deer, but I do like deer jerky.
I understand, bro. Like, I'm not,
Yeah.
what did
Yeah.
I eat today, bro? Like, I ate some chicken, some pepperoni. Today's a better day. I had like 2 smoothies, but like, you know, I'll be smashing, bro. I'm not that dude right now, but I'm becoming. And that's the thing. A lot of times people say they're not something and they attach a label to an identity that keeps them stuck at a certain level of personal development, all because they think they're not something that they will become. I'll give you an example. Dudes.
Example.
Dudes.
Okay.
I know a lot of dudes that say I'm not an emotional person. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You want to know?
Yeah. I'm learning how to become one.
You see the difference?
Yeah.
But if you say I'm not, what you do is you cut off a part of your true identity. Because we were created with emotions. And the way that no matter how much dudes argue with me, I always got the #1 trump card. Here's what it is. I said, you're not an emotional person? All right. If I asked your mama.
Yeah.
When you was growing up and you ain't get your way, were you emotional?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
Oh, feelings hurt everything. So you learned to be unemotional. It's not your natural state. So by you saying something that you're not, I'm not an emotional person, what you're doing is you are going against what your actual true nature is. And you wonder why you got so much anger, and you wonder why you little things that bother you. You wonder why can't nobody challenge your thoughts or your opinions, which limits your personal growth. Somebody, you know how many dudes I have to outman just to get them to listen? And when I say outman, I mean I gotta talk about, a lot of times I have to make more money than them, or I have to be intellectually so much more smart that they can't out-talk me. And I gotta be physically fit enough to be like, you're not going out. Because dudes have triggers when you start to try to tell them about stuff that's deep. Like if I tell a dude, I've done this when I've spoken, especially to all men crowds, and I say this little emotional thing, I feel the energy in the room, I feel the resistance of like, no, this dude's soft. And I say, I'm soft, fight me, bro.
They ain't gonna do that.
And some people will.
Yeah.
Some people will, because they idiots, bro. They're like, I'm going to square up then, I'm boxer.
Right.
I'm like, you missing the point, bro. You missing the point that all this toughness that you think you are because you're calling yourself not an emotional person is not really toughness. It got you. We got you. Got to get that smoke off your face.
It's on me?
Yeah.
That's good now.
The debris. I want to continue this, though. Let me grab a couple more wood, though. That thing burning fast. But this is good, bro.
Oh, yeah.
This is good.
That's a good fire right there.
Yeah, it'll burn good.
Did y'all build a pit?
Yeah, I built it. Just dug a little hole. Took these bricks out around it. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, there we go. Keep it going. Yeah, these dudes, man. So I'll get in these arguments. I say arguments. I have to address the energy that I feel, the resistance that I feel from them. You cannot grow in your resistance to truth. Okay, so the truth is, whether you agree with it or not, is that you were created, you came into this world with emotions. Your natural state is emotions. Now, that doesn't mean you are a social butterfly. That don't mean that you cry about everything, but it does mean you have a sensitivity. Okay, that's important.
Why?
Why? I just told you one reason why. Because here I am on stage. I could be sharing something that is so transformative to their life, but because I'm getting emotional and they're saying I'm not an emotional person and this dude is soft, they cut themselves off from an opportunity to grow. Because of a lie they told themselves that they believe wholeheartedly and will fight you over.
Deep. Strong
Okay.
coded. Yeah.
The other reason, here's my belief. In church, they'll say it this way: God never anoints counterfeits. The entrepreneur space, a buzz term, authentic voice, your authentic self. Everybody talking about being authentic. In the streets, they call it keep it 100, being real. It's dudes that say they being real, keeping it 100. They're not. Not being either. And it's tough. Here's another thing. This is what I was going to say before we broke. Is one of the things I find myself saying to men a lot. Is like, okay, you so tough, right? You so tough. You'll beat my ass. Like you the toughest thing on the block. Okay, you're tough enough and man enough to fight me, but you're not man enough to apologize. So you mean to tell me that an emotion is tougher than you?
Oh man, you know what?
I'm done.
That's true.
I'm done, bro. Dude, an emotion. I'm sorry.
So,
Yeah, go ahead.
so I was not good at apologizing because I figure, especially in a relationship, I grew up just deal with it. You good? You can handle it. You can get over it. And that's how you deal with things, whatnot. So with that part in marriage, you gotta apologize a lot. I wasn't ready for all that. I didn't know he was apologize.
And you know what?
For everything.
A lot of times you have to apologize because the woman typically has a greater sensitivity to the emotion. And one reason why men don't want to apologize is because they're like, why am I apologizing for something that's so stupid?
Right.
It's not stupid when you feel. It's not stupid when you imagine how you made the other person feel. Keep going.
But I'm learning. Yeah, I'm learning though. So like with that part, it's a learning thing. I did learn that. I did became more sensitive than I was before, and now I kind of see a point of view that I wasn't seeing before. Apologies matter, because in a workforce, in a work life, you apologize to your boss if you did something wrong, so you don't want to get fired. So why not apologize to your significant other if you don't want to lose that person too as well? So,
That's what
yeah.
One of the things that I think will help you, and then any dudes watching this, right? Any female that has more of a masculine type bent, right, is not something that you're gonna typically understand with your mind. It's something that you have to feel with your emotion. And the more you try to solve it cognitively, like, okay, I got this different perspective now, I apologize. Okay, it makes sense to me now, I will loosen up. But the more you try to cognitively understand it, the more frustration you're gonna have, because some things cannot be explained, they can only be felt. That's it, they can only be felt. Especially when something is somebody's personal opinion, like people begin offended over stuff, that's not even really like that big of a deal. But to them it is. And so I'll never understand it intellectually, but I can feel it emotionally.
Me, yeah. So I'm glad I went to this little growth thing, because before I was like,
That don't make no sense.
yeah, it doesn't make any sense. Why does it even matter? Just get over it. What you saying don't matter.
Yeah.
Now, I guess with personal growth, you learn how to listen. As a interviewer, a broadcast journalist, your job is to learn how to listen to your guests and relate and recycle and kind of, give back and forth energy in a way. And I'm not sure why that wasn't in a relationship.
In your head and not in your heart.
Break it down, cause yeah.
I'm gonna give you an extreme.
Okay.
Okay, because sometimes in the extreme it helps. And I say this to my wife a lot of times too. My wife has a tendency to be masculine. And then there's nothing wrong with that. It makes her a 5-year-old business manager. inspiration is fire. Where I have a tendency to lean more towards the feminine side of the energy because of I was raised by women, and I don't know. I always was like that. I've always been a little bit more, and I'm a creative, so I got a little bit more of the like woo energy.
Right.
And so sometimes, in order to get her out of like that masculine, like, I tell her like it's an extreme example, but it puts things in perspective. I say, okay, if I died, would this argument really matter? Like, it's so funny because I was a pastor, and I still am a pastor. I'm just not pastoring at a church. And it's so interesting, pastoring. You see so much because people come to you for guidance, advice. Like, you know, they open up all the secrets for you a lot of the times. And I would see people when I would do funerals that would be crying. And if I knew the history with them and the person, sometimes I'd be looking like, man, that sucks. My heart would break because I know that the real reason why they're crying is because they were being petty over something that wasn't worth it when they thought about losing the person. It's an extreme example, but a lot of these things that we won't bend on, we won't let go of, is because we're not thinking with an eternal perspective in mind. And it's so short-term thinking. It's stupid. It's not worth it. You wasting your life over something that doesn't matter. And we can understand this from a personal growth standpoint, because I know you probably did something like this. The vision in life that you want. Think about how you want to be remembered. At the death, you know, I've heard it said so many ways. You know, richest place on earth is the graveyard, right?
That's true.
You know, your life is nothing but the dash between when you were born and when you die. What are you going to do with the dash, right? What do you want people to say about you at your funeral? All these things is trying to get you to live in a way that's congruent with how you want to be remembered. And so when you are arguing with your spouse, when you are arguing with a person over something that you could easily let go, you're not living in congruency with the vision that you want at the end of your life. And that's why a lot of the times, even when you win arguments, you walk away still feeling bad. Why do I feel bad?
Yeah.
I ain't doing that wrong. You know what we do? We don't journal. We don't seek counsel. We don't try to feel. You know what we do? Numb. Smoke, drink, sex, television, something to numb my thoughts and my body to feeling what I'm feeling right now. Because I'm right. But something don't feel right about being right. Because it's not. Oh, snap. See? Yeah. Something don't feel right about being right. Right. It's not in your nature. You think it is.
Do you think is sometimes good just agree to disagree, or just kind of let things slide, or you think there should always be a conclusion after every situation?
That's such a loaded question. It's sometimes good to agree to disagree just because it is not worth it. And then there's a whole bunch of research around your emotions being heightened and how that clouds your judgment anyways. Like you ever like do something in anger that you would have never done out of anger?
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. Your state influences your behavior. And so I think for that reason, agreeing to disagree allows you some space to calm down. Breathing will help too. Breathing regulates the body. You focus on your breath. You do 6 deep breaths. You'll be in a way different state, and you'd be like, "Dang, why am I tripping over this?" Right? Okay, cool. Whatever. I'll just do this. And life is just so much better.
So I mean, all right. So I live the way how I kind of created my life, or kind of created my world. So I have different worlds, I would say. Like things that I feel like is not relevant to speak on, I just you know, keep to the side. But I don't know. I don't know how I was going with it. But I know I was going with it. But so I'm a simple person, I would say. I don't believe in arguments or things should be postponed or long standing, I would say. And I feel like agree, you know, like you say, agreeing to disagree can bring everything down to a simple level where y'all can have a clear conversation. So that's part of personal growth, that experience. I always been like that, but it's kind of enhanced that level. Moving forward, fatherless home. How important is it for guys who grew up without a father in their household to kind of, we as boys, we see, probably had the issues of, that's why we're numbing ourselves to be tough in a way. So how can a person who has not dealt with that yet kind of deal with that?
Yeah, in several ways. Number one, I think you got to get around a great, healthy, role models. When I say role models, I don't think with the ego. A lot of times people see a role model relationship as if like they're in a lesser position than the person who is their role model. It's just your ego thinking that your worth is determined upon your status. But nobody is better than anybody. We're all divine. Okay, so you could be a role model to me, and I could be a role model to you. It don't have to be
right.
You know what I'm saying? And I learned this when I was pastoring in Saginaw. The majority of my church members were like 60, 65 and older. I was like 23.
You probably be thinking like, what can I teach them?
They've been married longer than I've been alive. But it's not about that. It's not about this. So it's about role model. It's the role that I'm modeling for you. So,
I never thought about it that way. I never thought about it.
Linguistics is powerful. And so you think about being in a fatherless home, and you had a bad role model. Somebody modeled for you a bad way to play the role of a man. Okay? By not being there, or sometimes even worse, by being there and teaching you toxic masculinity. One of the things we just addressed is that men aren't emotional. That because of our nature, we can just have sex with whoever we want. That because we are the strength a lot of times in the home, that means we always right. It's a powerful thing when men apologize. You got to get around some men who feel, who cry, and who get after it too. These ain't people who just kumbaya and on the next to the fire camp. They're not building business or leading their family. That's a healthy role model. And if you get out of think about dogs as any type of animal. Like if you have them around other animals, they start to embody and duplicate the behaviors and the mannerisms of something they appear to be like them.
Yes.
It's the same thing too. We start, oh, that's a man. Oh, that's a black man. Oh, I guess that's how I'm supposed to be because we look the same. We are the same. We got the same parts. We got the same tendencies, same skin color. We must be the same. And so this must be what it means to be a man. And honestly, I could go down that rabbit trail a lot, but my point is get around the healthy example. Okay. And then by a byproduct, your nature, you'll start to be different. You'll start to have you'll start to model those behaviors as well. And then the other part is just reconcile that, like through counseling, right? Really talk about the father wounds. I got some good reading material. There's a guy named Brian Pruitt. He is a former All-American athlete, college All-American, and he was supposed to go to NFL. He got hurt. He was fired. You gotta look him up. But he has an organization called Power of Dad. That's empowering fatherless youth. You ain't it. You want to move here a little bit?
We good.
Okay, cool. So he's got a thing called Power of Dad, Power of Fatherless Youth. He got a couple books out. I can't remember his first one, but I recommend every book he wrote. Okay. And I recommend even reaching out to him, seeing if he will share his curriculum that he takes these young men through, because I was volunteering to help these young fatherless men. And my dad was in my life, physically, mentally. He wasn't really emotionally present or spiritually present. but he was the other stuff. And I learned that through his program because I'm helping these men or these young men, and I'm teaching them Brian Pruitt's curriculum. And I'm like, oh, I ain't have some of that. Like, I kind of needed that in my life. I needed an emotionally present man. I needed an emotionally or spiritually present father, and I didn't have those components. And I had to reconcile that. And so one way is through counseling. Another way is through reading books about it. That's personal development. You're developing an area where you're weak.
So how, like, all right, if that individual don't have those resources around, what steps can it take to kind of help them walk towards that path?
Oh, them resources is everywhere. It'd be very hard to, in this day and age, to number one, I just gave you 2 books. And most people have a way to email someone or a way to go get a book. They can order a book online. Unless you're talking about some remote parts of the world, most people have that. And everybody that's watching this is probably gonna have that.
Right.
You know, and so now in terms of finding the healthy models, I mean, you gotta get out your environment and stop doing the same stuff. A lot of times we live our life on repeat. Eat at the same places, wear the same things,
right,
have the same food, travel the same route. And it's like, take a different route to work. Make a stop at a different grocery store. Go work out at a different gym.
What if Kroger's like right there?
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But why do you want to keep going to the same thing and living the same experience? Definition of insanity is what?
Doing the same thing, expecting different results.
Exactly.
Okay.
There's a lot of insane people.
Damn.
You know.
I'm insane a little bit. So, all right. So the poor. So I'm reading this book, The Signs of Getting Rich. A really good book, and definitely explains, thoughts and.
Is that Wallace?
Yes.
Okay.
Really good book.
Yeah,
and I listened to it actually 3 times in 1 week.
That's a good book.
It's so damn good.
Yeah.
Like, it's addicting. The thought or the power of music in what you listen to every day. So I feel a difference. All right, so when I listen to some hip hop, I get hyped. Then it's a different mind state when I'm around different people or people in my 2 places I don't really need to be thinking at a time period. Or there's also, I listen to a country song. Country music is more cello. Some country songs are more hype. But it's also jazz. Jazz is different.
I love jazz, bro.
I did not know jazz was like that until.
Jazz is fire.
And it's a different calming state.
It's a vibe.
So, how important is the music listened to in mental state?
I mean, extremely important because it changes your state. Dude, I'll tell you a drastic example of that. Did you go to the streets? More so country?
No, island country.
Did y'all have house parties where y'all grew up?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so you get it. You ever seen a fight break out at a house party?
Yeah.
Why did the fight break out?
Knuck if you buck.
Yes! I'm so glad you said that, bro.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I was getting ready to say.
Yeah.
Yes. That's the power of music. A song created chaos. If you wouldn't have played that song, none of that would have happened. The song was the spark of the fire. Everybody chilling, usually having a good time. It might be a little hidden tension going on where some dudes from the south side looking at dudes from the north side or east and west, like looking, but nobody's really doing anything until, Nug, if you buck. Oh, you what? Are you looking at me? No, you looking, buddy. Why you looking at me? Hey, homie. Well, why? Hey, buddy, looking at me.
Yeah.
You got a problem? Hey, you got a problem, bro? What? Nut? What?
Yeah.
And then they just fall over a song. That junk was always so stupid to me, and I was around people who just got such short tempers, and I'm like, man, I gotta fight just because they fighting.
Yeah.
Like I didn't even want to fight. I was trying to
get
chill.
on,
Yeah. I was trying to have a good time.
Yeah.
That's the power of music. Flip it though. Flip it. Imagine a fight breaking out to classical music or jazz.
Oh my God. It'll be so soft. I'm about to punch you.
Nobody would feel like they want to fight.
Yeah, your punch is gonna be. I'm sorry. I was like.
No. Nobody would feel like they want
Yeah.
to fight. Fact. Probably leave the party. That's the power of music. And you can start to use music to alter any state. one of the things I use music to do is set my mood for the right moment in my day. Okay, energy management. So personal growth, personal development, I learned time management, doing more in less time, right? How can you compact more activities into less time through automation, delegation, and there's another Asian. I can't remember what the third one was. But that was the whole strategy. You know, Eat the Ugly Frog First, Brian Tracy, I think he wrote that book. You know, I read a ton of books on time management and got good at like planning out my weeks and like all this stuff. And I only could get a certain amount of productivity. Then I learned energy management. Think of energy management like this. If I was time managing and I was trying to chop down a tree, I'd be like, every day at 3 o'clock, I'm coming in and chop the tree for an hour, managing my time. Energy management, I'm like, I'm the most strong in the morning. So I might do it for an hour every day, but I'm gonna do it in the morning. I'm managing my energy. If I were to take it to another level, I say, hey, when I listen to this type of song, when I listen to rap instrumentals, it puts me in a different energy. So now I'm doing it when I'm naturally in a state of more energy, and I'm using music to enhance it. And now I'm like, you know, chopping that boy all the way down, all because I learned energy management. And you can do that with any task. When I do interviews, I listen to a certain type of music before I hop on the interview. Okay, when I do administrative tasks, because that's like responding to emails, sending contracts, like making comments on like certain speeches that I'm writing for clients, like really administrative detailed work. I hate that stuff. And I have to like trick my mind with music. So I would listen to like epic, like you ever watched the movie 300?
Yes.
Like that type of music to do my administrative task.
Oh my God.
And it sounds funny until I get it done. While somebody been at work all day and I'm getting done in 3 hours what takes them all day to get done. Most people working 9 to 5 sit at the email all day, that's all they can get done. When I used to work in those environments, bro, I used to be done so quick.
You just be chilling, sitting there.
Doing something else.
Yeah.
Building my dream.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Doing, 40, 60 hours of work in 20 hours because I understand not just time management, energy management. People start using that. I train companies on that too. And they start using it. It's crazy. Productivity goes off the roof. Try it.
So what's some of your favorite jazz that you listen to?
You know, I have a playlist on my YouTube. If I pulled it up, I'll probably be able to tell you better. I like playlists. I'm not good with like names of songs, lyrics of songs, time, artists. I can't tell you a lot of that stuff. I could throw out some names and fake it, but it'd be inauthentic. To be honest with you, I just be Googling jazz, and then I pick the best playlist that's like the vibe I want. But I have all sorts of playlists. I got classical playlists. I usually listen to classical when I write.
Okay. Or you like something like real simmer and
like it's like a Mozart.
Right. I can see that.
I listen to a little jazz sometimes when I write, and then sometimes I listen to like a soul type of hip hop, like think Lauryn Hill type of stuff.
Neo soul.
Yeah.
What's his name?
I can't, bro. I told you I don't know names.
God darn it.
Yeah, but I know, but it's a vibe though. I get it.
So every day, what do you give thanks to?
I give thanks to life. You know, and it's a depth to that.
So is it like, so you give thanks to life, but then it's like different screams and brackets that goes down from the word life?
Yeah, it's a weightiness to it. It's a word, but it's a word for me that explains a deeper emotion than when people normally say it. And I teach this in communication and speech writing. I'll give you an example. One of the things people like in speeches is quotes. Okay? But what they don't understand is that it's not about being tweetable or having alliteration or rhyming. It is the emotional weight that the statement actually carries. I'll give you an example. I could say, hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. But Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. is the one who said it. When he says hate cannot drive out hate,
It's
Only
different.
love can do it. It
Oh, yeah.
hit different.
It does.
The emotional weight. That's the power of the quote. It's the emotional. It means so much because of all of the emotion that's and the meaning that's attached to it. Bring me back to what we were talking about. So I was going to connect that. What was the original question?
What do you give thanks to?
So when I say thanks to life,
Mm-hmm.
the weight in that is that, and you know this about me, but I'm a suicide survivor.
Mm-hmm.
I literally tried to end the life that I'm living today.
Mm-hmm.
So when I say thank you, like I can almost get emotional just saying it now. I feel it more than people being like, "Oh, thank you for waking me up this morning." You know, like
Thank you for my
they're
blessings.
doing it because
Right.
it's a strategy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing it because it has meaning,
Mm.
and that's the key for people. It's not to be like, "Oh, now I got to put all this meaning on life." Not necessarily. You just got to find the thing that you're grateful for. I say it this way: you can't guilt yourself to be grateful because it doesn't work.
That's true.
I'm going to be grateful for this because this is what I'm supposed to do. No, how about you find something you're literally grateful for?
Yeah.
And so for me, I give great gratitude and thanks for that. For my family, my daughters, my wife. They're amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I told you the story, but excuse me. I I thought I knew exactly what I wanted in a woman. I wanted her to be 5'9", black and Puerto Rican.
Yeah.
And drive a foreign whip. My whip, foreign, everything, you know. And listening to music.
Mm-hmm.
And I had this whole little thing that I wanted. And my wife is, I don't know, like 5'3",
Mm-hmm.
5'8". Not any of that. But way better. And the crazy thing is, you know, I didn't necessarily choose her. Obviously, I proposed. But I really felt like God led me to marry her in a powerful way. And what has come out of that, our relationship, our business rebuilding, our children we're raising, is just like, I look at it, I took a picture today of them sitting on the couch and I'm like, I could have never imagined this for myself, but it's so beautiful. So I give thanks for that. And the other thing is just thankful for the privilege of influence. You know, a lot of people want influence because it validates them.
Right.
Verified on Instagram. Ooh. So much so that people buy verification.
Yeah, you can buy it. Sometimes it's free, but you can pay a lot of money. Because
Why would you buy that? Or buy a listing or buy it? Why don't you just actually earn it?
yeah,
But they value the external more than the reality. Like the fictitious more than the actual reality. It's weird to me. But I give thanks for the privilege of being able to have influence. Because influence is someone opening up their entire being for me to influence it. A lot of people don't know this about public speaking, but that's what actually creates the nervousness for a lot of people. A lot of people like number one fear is public speaking. People say they get nervous or scared or anxious when they talk in front of people. It is because of the energy of people opening themselves up to you that makes you so nervous, because when you step up there, you cannot deny the tangible energy you feel. That's what you feel is like, people are open.
this is a
Whoa,
great feeling.
they're listening to me. Whoa,
Yes.
what I say is going to influence how they feel, think,
Right.
behave. But if I numb myself to that, and not feel into that, what do? Rehearse, protect my image and my ego, try to do all this stuff. I don't care about connection. I don't care about really my content. I just care about, do I get an applause at the end?
Right.
It's like you're doing it from your own heart. So I give thanks for the privilege of speaking into people's life from a speaking standpoint, from a mentorship standpoint, from anything that I get to do.
Gratitude.
Yeah, it's powerful. It's powerful.
The Signs of Getting Rich speaks on gratitude, number one. Finding your passion, going all in, and the best way to help the poor is become rich. You want to help the poor? Do what you need to do. Become rich. Who is Darryll Stinson after sports?
And love. Yeah.
What time is it? Damn.
Who is that? Oh, damn.
I forgot about that.
Time is up.
Oh, yeah.
About to get a whooping. Okay, we'll wrap up.
Man, I forgot about that.
I'm love. I express my love through helping people express theirs. You know, speaker coach. You know, that's what it is. My speaking is me loving on people, helping them to feel in love. My coaching is helping people to spread their love, their message, but their love. That's what it is. There's a lot of love in that, and that's what I'm good. And that's what my uniqueness in the speaking industry is like. You know, I think I am motivational when I speak. People have told me that, but I think I'm more of a healer when I speak because of the way people feel love. And love will transform a life faster than anything. In my opinion, love will transform a life faster than inspiration will.
That's very true.
So,
Like, dang. I wish you could keep on going. I was about to say.
hey man,
man, I appreciate
let's
you.
Come back and do it again, man. I love what you're doing, man. Let me ask you a question. Get it out. If you could pick one thing that you did to serve the world for the rest of your life, what would that one thing be in mind?
Bring exposure to all the great people in the world that doesn't have that exposure. I want to be that person giving that exposure and show the world how great they are. Because, man, I feel like there's so much great people in the world that has not been seen. That some people don't want to be seen, but I feel like people. They give an example to other people that looks like me to show them like, hey, you can do more than just be in your city, be in your neighborhood, live and die here. You can travel the world and do great things. There's a blueprint. Jay-Z wrote the Blueprint album for a reason. And I want to be that blueprint, the blueprint for people in the world who don't feel like they have a way out or a special or a talent or a gift about them. So that's why. So my media, this camera right here, there's gonna be more cameras soon in a big old media warehouse soon. And it'll be a place where people can come express themselves creatively and show the world who they really are. Yeah.
That's dope, bro.
Yeah.